Went to have a look at an art exhibition yesterday, not at an art gallery, but at the El Gordo Cafe and Art Space in Chancery Lane. And I wasn't sure what to expect because the title of the exhibition was called Where Nothing is Straight, a show of patchwork. The artist is Tamara Marwood, and when I dropped in yesterday, of course, I had to ask her what I was actually looking at.
Let's see. Sorry, there's another...
What we're looking at is patchworks that are hand sewn, stretched over frames, and they're ready to mount on a wall. And I think with patchworks, a lot of people see them as very precise, well cut out shapes that all sit together nicely, but this patchwork is not straight at all. There's a lot of texture there. And also, I make a really big conscious effort to recycle fabrics. So I'm using fabrics left over from jeans that have been tossed out, fabrics that might have, small and delicate and interesting textural and colour changes in them. And for this show, just because I have shown so much patchwork, I've embroidered in very subtle ways over the top of them. And if you get right up close, you can check out the stitching.
In some ways, I see this as almost art crossing over with domestic things.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a technique that is very, very old. It's called English paper piercing. It's a technique that was used by women with scraps of fabric from around their house. So we're talking, work clothes that have fallen apart, sheets, probably even packaging that they got their food in, and they chop it down, stretch it again over paper and tack it down, and then they'd stitch squares or hexagons together, and you sort of get this motley canvas or patchwork put together.
So, in fact, the technique that you're using for art is in fact an old-style technique for reusing cloth many, many times.
Oh, yeah. It's a very, very old patchwork technique, and it's a beautiful way to work as well. It's very methodical, and always a delight when it starts growing and seeing the colours and textures that come out.
It seems too that the creation of this would be a little bit of a punt because, as you say, it's not precise, and so when you stretch it across a frame, you get gaps and you get other things, and so when you actually have completed your sewing, do you actually know what you're going to see when you actually unfold it all? Well,
I've got a good idea because I've done this a lot, but it is a surprise and also a joy because it's kind of like drawing. Quite often drawing tells you what to do. You have to follow the line. You have to give in to what the drawing gives you, and that's a bit like this work as well. But it's very subtle, and it's for me a lovely way to read things and very poetic.
Talking of which, what is it? It's the journey rather than the destination. For you as an artist, what's going through your mind? I'd imagine it's very cathartic, just this gentle sewing, and really I suppose you're probably doing other things at the same time.
Absolutely. I am a mum with two small, youngish kids. It's something that I can do while I'm watching a film, or I was travelling a lot on trains, so I can do it while I'm travelling, and it's definitely like a meditation, a way to move through life, a way to, stitch things up or resolve problems. It plays a really big role in my life, yeah.
And as part of the exhibition, you're actually going to share some of that technique and possibly some of those mental journeys you can go on as you're doing this kind of stitching.
Well, definitely. Stitching throughout the ages has definitely been a woman's activity, and quite often groups of women did get together, and I will have 2 sessions while the show's here at El Gordo where people can come along. You don't have to be a woman to come along and hang out. I can share my English paper piercing technique, or you might have a project that you would like to just bring in and hang out and have a cuppa and a coffee or a cake and enjoy some company while you do some work.
Why am I thinking, what is that film called? How to Make an American Quilt or something like that, where it was a very social thing, quilting in some cultures and communities where you come together to create something for a special occasion.
Absolutely, yeah. Quilting is like a huge, massive fabric for one person to deal with is really hard, and traditionally it is something that groups of people got together to finish off.
So really your creations are perhaps, a metre by 30 centimetres at the largest. In the olden days you'd probably combine those with a lot of other people's pieces, and there you have the quilt for the feather bed.
Yeah, that's right, Jonathan. That's beautiful.
Well, anyway, they're fascinating, as you say, shapes and sizes, and they really do catch the eye. And to have the chance to show them in Chancery Lane, it's been fantastic seeing it. Thanks, Tam.
Thank you.
Tamara Marwood is a Bendigo artist, and her work on display at the El Gordo Cafe and Art Space in Chancery Lane. It's basically open cafe hours, so through the day on Fridays between 9 and 8. There's a bit of an opening on Friday evening between 6 and 8, and those come along and share, have a look, bring your own quilting techniques are next Thursday, the 1st of November, between 10 and 11, and Saturday, November the 10th, between 10 and 11:30.